each and every last one of you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Tyreek Hill is not suspended by the NFL, and they granted him a get out of jail free card, in my opinion. The lady, I guess she was lying. What this news means to those who follow the Cowboys and those who like Ezekiel Elliott means nothing. Look, this is not an eye for an eye league. This is not a tooth for a tooth. This league is a league that likes to set the tone and set the example on certain selective teams. The reality of it is that wrong is wrong, right is right. And this league has been trying to do a PR cleaning for a long time now. And now, is it fair to the Cowboys? No, it's not fair at all. I mean, the guy never been arrested. I'm talking about Ezekiel Elliott. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And the lady that supposedly said that he did these heinous acts upon him said in a text message, which is pretty much a level of showing that the lady is not credible, said that, hey, I'm white, you're black. They're going to believe me. They're not going to believe you. And you're going to get suspended or you're going to get kicked out of the NFL. I'm not trying to make it a white-black situation, but the reality is this right here, Cowboy Nation. When you got somebody that's already going on record saying that they are trying to defame you or they're trying to put you under the bus, then come on, NFL. The NFL, after reading that statement due to their investigation, they should have just said, you know what, Ezekiel Elliott, you're a knucklehead. You are a knucklehead. And, hey, pulling girls' bras down, I know that seems kind of harm too. But we was all 20 and 21 years old before. And this doesn't look good for our league. Until you get arrested, until something crazy happened, we're just going to wash our hands with this. But we're going to let you know that we got our eyes on you. Because at the end of the day, man, when I was 20, 21, boy, I was doing some crazy things. And I was doing more than pulling girls' tatas down. But that's a story of a different day. Don't want to defame my character. And I don't want you guys to go back and say, okay, well, all you was doing it. But that was when I was 20, 21, 50. That was 16, 17 years ago. Think about that. I'm about 16, 17 years older than Ezekiel Elliott. So that gives you guys some reality of where I'm coming from. And it is what it is at this point. Shout out to Tyreek Hill. Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs. They got them an explosive guy that's going to be back out there being able to play for that team. And shout out to Pat Mahomes, Texas native. Shout out to the kid, man. We want him to flourish out there. Hopefully they can make it all the way to the Super Bowl and those sorts of things. But it's just crazy. I'm still waiting on the major news media to talk about the Giants situation. You guys remember the Moore kid? Whatever happened this past week with the domestic violence, have you heard everything? Have you heard anything about the major networks talking about that? So from my understanding, that domestic violence only counts when it's in Texas, right? Or when it's with the Dallas Cowboys. And the women's rights group, they only get upset when a Dallas Cowboy player hurts and put a woman in harm's way. Allegedly, even if it's an alleged assault or what have you. Because you guys remember, and I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not trying to lie to kick it with you all, but you guys remember Molly Kiram, however you say her name. She was all on national TV crying, oh, domestic violence. I remember when such and such domestic violence. But we don't see her shedding tears about this situation. We don't see her shedding tears about the Giants player. We don't see her shedding tears about the other situations that happen throughout the NFL with the Kareem Hunts of the world. But we see her shedding tears on national TV, and we hear the guys like the Max Kellermans of the world and the Stephen A. Smith talk on a lot of levels of how stupidity the Dallas Cowboys are to have these players on their team. So it's crazy to me. It's all about the money. Yeah, the CBA Goodell is a joke. Yeah, this is from Kerry. I agree, man. I agree. Yeah, somebody hurt that child, and a child got a broken arm. Now, the reality of it is that before that child was even born, and this is not me making up stuff, these are actual facts, that Tyreek Hill punched a lady It's not an it's not a accusation, or it's not me assuming or something like that. But he actually punched the lady in the stomach. Now, for that child to be ultimately born, and then all of a sudden that child have a broken arm. Now, I'm not the smartest person in the world, right? Not the brightest guy on the planet Earth, but there's some truth somewhere around there. You know, not everybody's lying on you. But, you know, when you run an organization, people do what they want to do. Organizations that got billions of dollars do what they wants to do. The NFL do what they wants to do. They shut down certain people's channels because they are a threat to certain situations. They do what they want to do. They are a $1 billion entity. Matter of fact, I'm just being real with you guys. I get a knock on my door right now and say, hey, Law, you know, we heard you talk about this. We heard you talk about that. How about this $500,000 settlement if you gag order so you don't have to talk about this anymore? Boy, don't you know I'll take that $500,000 so quick and start changing my tune. Like, hey, you know what? The NFL is a bright, brilliant company. They are a nonprofit organization. But have you ever tried to go to one of their games? Let me know if you can get in for free. Let me know where that profit line is going to. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. No, it's just probably the way I look, man. You said I look real tired. No, I'm not tired at all. Poor child was born into an abusive family situation. Yes, John. I mean, it was a very abusive family situation. And the reality of it is that we know that in the Ezekiel Elliott case, that lady was lying. Flat out, she admitted that she was lying. But we don't know about this child situation. There's a broken arm. Bone's been broken. It takes 6 to 9 months for a bone to heal. So that child got to go and endure that. How about if this was an eye for an eye? How about somebody breaks Tyreek Hill arm and see how that feels? Or how about somebody breaks his fiance or wife arm and see how that feels? If this was an eye for an eye situation. But the NFL, they picks and choose what they want to be able to suspend. And that's the reality of it. They gave the guy, the kicker, I think his name was John Brown. They gave that guy, for 1 game? And he admitted, and his wife called the 911, called the police, and called the hotel security, saying that her husband is beating her down till she blue in the face. And yet everybody was still saying Big Blue with the New York Giants, but the reality was she was getting drugged. She was getting beat down, and this guy was just saying, oh, I'm an NFL player. They're not going to do anything to me. And he made it all the way to the Pro Bowl, and they did the investigations, and they said, well, we just suspended for a game. And then the outcry came, oh, we'll make it 2 games. It's crazy stuff, man. Yeah, it's crazy, Cowboy Nation, man. Josh Brown, yes, was his name. Yeah. So, I mean, the NFL is a joke in reality. My thing is, I would look at it from here, Cowboy Nation, what they should do if they're going to be so fickle with the rulings and with the laws and this sorts of things. Just go with whatever the law says. If the law says that, hey, this guy's innocent, then let it be innocent. But if you start putting your hands into it and saying, okay, we're gonna hire our own private investigations or investigators, and then you're not even going to listen to what they have to rule against, it's crazy to me. It's flat out crazy to me, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for the donation to help grow the nation, man. He says here, Young Wilson, man, really appreciate you, man. He said, have a great Friday. We are fine. Don't hear the noise about our team. Thanks for all the hard work, Young Wilson. Appreciate you, man. Here's the thing. Here's the thing is when you start talking about our team collectively, we know for a fact that this guy named Tyron Crawford, he just paid off the prosecutors so that he can get his charges dropped. My thing is when you start doing that, it opens up Pandora's box, basically. it opens up Pandora's box, because now that when you're out there, we all get into trials. We all go through tribulations. We all go through something. We all go through a guy with testosterone. He see you in the bar. Now he want to pick a fight with you. What do you think the next guy going to say? Hey, those other boys got paid off. Hey, I'm trying to do a money grab now. These NFL players are a target now, especially with the fickle ruling with the NFL commissioner. It's just crazy to me. Loving Aries, appreciate you. Tom Jasper, man. What did Tyreek Hill got to do with the Cowboys law? Tyreek Hill got to do a lot with the Cowboys, with the rulings in the situation. And trust me, guys, just because y'all follow my page, because I talk Cowboys, my knowledge and my information goes far beyond what the Cowboys story is and what the Cowboys is all about collectively. So I'm not just this guy. My name is Law Nation, not Cowboy Nation. I got more and more information just goes beyond Dallas Cowboys sports football talk. Just to be real with you guys, I'm not owned by the Cowboys. I'm not all the way sold in every grain of my thoughts are just levied to the Cowboys. Don't put me in a box, Cowboy Nation. Don't put me in a box. My name is Law Nation, not Cowboy Nation. To be honest with you guys, when we jump live and we talk this Cowboy talk, a lot of this stuff goes from the Cowboys organization don't want us to speak on this type of stuff, because the Cowboys organization sees us, these underground Cowboy YouTubers, if you want to say that, as an enemy. Because I got emails and receipts that shows and prove that. But I'm going to keep it real and OG with you guys. Look, the Cowboys is a team that I follow and I love. And I love football collectively. That's just the reality of it. But if you guys coming in here to hear PC talk and say, hey, the Cowboys are going to go in rainbows and silver linings and it's always going to be Super Bowl talks and stuff like that, you came to the wrong page. Just to me telling you guys the truth. I love the Cowboys, but my limited of information is just giving you guys Cowboys talk. No, that's not me, man. I'm going to give you guys the real deal. I'm going to give you guys all of the other stuff in the news that's out there as well. We're most hated law, period. Travis Banks, man, appreciate you for the donation to help grow the nation. Look, man, my thing is we are the world's most hated team of all time. Just the reality of it, because you don't see the fair and balance as it relates to the Cowboys versus the all 31 other teams out there. But what I can say, Cowboy Nation, for those who out there that's listening, the problem is when Jerry Jones sued the NFL way back in 1996 and 1997 for that apparels deal and for that individual marketing deal. He sued, and during that time, it was $750 million. That's a lot of cash. And what the NFL did, they said, how can one man have all of that power? How can one man put the NFL in check? How can one man show the blueprint and the way that other teams can make money? And it did come from all original thoughts. That's what Jerry doing. So for those teams out there that's rocking with the Nike logos, those teams out there that's getting money for their individual stadiums, and then on top of that, the stadiums themselves are financed by the hardworking people and the citizens that lives in that particular state paying extra taxes. That's all done through Jerry Jones, right? The NFL didn't have that blueprint. The NFL was losing money. The NFL didn't know how to individually market for those teams to get super stadiums. The NFL didn't know how to market and leverage their money so that they can make money to come in for those ticket pricings for the sales of the individual, what we going to call it? We got to say this, and I hate to use this. When you season ticket holders, they use that to forecast, to propel the numbers, to project the numbers on how much they can sell so there won't be a blackout. But it's crazy, though. It's crazy. So it won't be a blackout so that they can get ad revenue for videos and commercials that goes on TV. And now everybody is saying that this plays a major money haul with the social media. So now that you will have NFL on YouTube, now you will have NFL on Amazon Prime. So these things all work together, and those things all came from your boy, Jerry Jones. Just the reality. Tyreek is innocent. The process. Yes, I agree. Tyreek is innocent. And then on top of that, I have to say this. Show is Ezekiel Elliott, because I would cash app you $100 right now if you can find me an arrest report with Ezekiel Elliott before his suspension. But at the same time, if you look up public records, you might find an arrest report with Tyreek Hill. And then on top of that, the Ezekiel Elliott situation happened. He got suspended in 2017. His quote unquote alleged abuse or allegations that it happened with the lady happened before he even had the silver and blue on. How you like that? Let that sink into your mental. Let that sink into your thoughts. It's crazy, Cowboy Nation. It is flat out crazy. So if Tyreek Hill is innocent, who been arrested before, Ezekiel Elliott never been arrested, and he seems by the eyes of the NFL not innocent because he had to serve a 6-game suspension. And now you can't say, well, it's conduct unbecoming, because at the same time, they suspended the guy for domestic violence. Conduct unbecoming is supposed to be a 1 to 2 game deal, right? They suspended this guy. But, you know, Roger Goodell, he folds up for political pressure. Like I said, Molly was all on TV crying on ESPN. The other kid out there, Stephen A. Smith, Max, Skip Bayless, he was lying like, hey, look, I don't have nothing to do with this. But Shannon Sharp, everybody was demanding. But it is what it is. Philly Cowboy 76, shout out to you. Young Wilson, appreciate you again. Kerry Teagle, what's up, Newman? Appreciate you. Boomer Sooner, thank you for tuning in to the nation. Joe Mixon got suspension. Never got a suspension. Yes. Man, Joe Mixon, you can just pull up tape now and you will see the heinous crime that he did out there. Now, of course, the lady ran up all on his face, but you just don't hit a woman regardless, right? You just don't hit a woman regardless. But like I said before on my previous streams, and I'm going to say it again, if Ezekiel Elliott played for any other team outside of the Dallas Cowboys, if Ezekiel Elliott got drafted by the Texans, if Ezekiel Elliott went to the Packers, if Ezekiel Elliott went to the Miami Dolphins, he would never been suspended. That's just the reality of it. And it showed proof in the pudding with Tyreek Hill. If you guys think I'm lying, imagine this. If Tyreek Hill played for the Dallas Cowboys, would he be playing this week? Well, would he be able to play week 1? Would he be able to play week 2? They probably suspended him when he first got into the league or what have you. And then we can't still talk about Tyreek Hill. Go Google Frank Clark. I'll wait. When you guys start looking up Frank Clark's situation. And I'm not out here saying that these players should just all get suspended for 6 weeks or what have you, for 6 games. No, I'm not saying that, because it's not an eye for an eye league. My thing is, my only battle cry is just make it fair across the board. If your standard is you get a ticket at the red light, when you run the red light, give the person the ticket at the red light. But you can't just start pulling people over and saying, hey, you ran the light when it was yellow. So therefore, I declare and I decree that you get another ticket. Or, hey, you didn't use your turning signal this time. We're going to let you go. But this team, if you wear the silver and blue, you didn't use your turning signal, hey, we're going to have to suspend you because, hey, ESPN is talking about it. Fox News is talking about it. So we're going to have to give you the ticket, but we're going to let Joe Blow go down the street. It don't work that way. It shouldn't work that way. He'll be looking at 25 to life if he was a Cowboy. JJ, you for real? Yes, JJ, you for real with that? Triller, look, Triller speaking the truth, man. Look, it's so crazy, and this is why I really believe that at first I was really mad at David Irvin. But you guys remember when we started to go on this little run with the Dallas Cowboys, Hot Boys, what have you. And David Irvin was still going back into the mix. And David Irvin, when he went live on his Instagram, he was saying that, hey, the NFL screwed me. They said that I test positive for HGH or something like that. And this is my first time really leaning on the side of David Irvin, believe it or not, because he knew how to circumvent the marijuana rule, right? They only test you one time out of a year for the marijuana rule. We already know that Chris Long came out on record. I'm talking about the defensive end for the Philadelphia Eagles, who played for also the Patriots and played for the Rams. He came out on record and said, hey, I smoke weed every day. Look, I smoke it to relieve my pain. It's just that when they test us that one time out of a year, I know they get clean. And it's just that I know for sure that they do these testings around this particular, I think it's April the 20th or something like that. And David Irvin says ever since he's been in the league, he's been doing the same thing that Chris Long was doing. But all of a sudden, he tests positive for performance enhancement drugs. When David Irvin started speaking about, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of people saying, "No, Lord, man, what you talking about, man? David Irvin is crazy, he's foolish." But when David Irvin started talking about he can roll out of the bed and he can be better than most, I guess 70 or 80% of the NFL players out there, I believe the man now because he don't need no performance enhancement drugs. The guy is already 6'7", 6'8", 310 pounds. So my thing is, when David Irvin said that all of a sudden he tested positive for performance enhancement drugs, in which that caused him to get into the program of being randomly tested. And then he said it was funny that they waived the performance enhancement drug. Then all of a sudden they found that he was smoking marijuana. But remember, he already knew how to circumvent the marijuana situation. So I believe that deep down in my heart, somewhere, that you guys know the same, that the league is after certain collective Cowboys players or certain high caliber players. That's just me. I'm not trying to just lie to you guys to kick it. I wish I could find the interview on the Instagram. Go let David Irvin know that, hey, can he repost and talk about it? Because he will say it. Just the reality of it, man. All of a sudden, they tested this guy for performance enhancement drugs. And they said, you know what? It was a false test on that. But by the way, we saw that you had weed, man, in your system. We're going to have to put you into the program. And then once you enter into the program and you smoke it, you get randomly tested. You don't get it. You don't get the chance to do the Chris Long theory. But that's a story of a different day. Joseph Ventura, man, appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Eastside Harold, man, what's up, fam? Appreciate you for tuning in too. Loving Aries, I agree with him. Yes, Philly Cowboys says speak on it. All I can do is tell you guys the truth, right? All I can do, man. Yeah, meticulous Cowboy 86, tough on the Cowboys. Yes, I agree, because this is the thing. That Jerry Jones, man, the same thing that makes you shine and smile is the same thing that makes you cry and whine, I guess. That's just the reality of it, man. Chief Kingdom, baby, Jeff TV. Look, my thing is with the Kansas City Chiefs, I love you guys' roster. Now, I still believe that instead of the New England Patriots going to the Super Bowl last year, if you guys were able to keep Kareem Hunt on that team, and if you had him in the backfield, I think that you guys would have made some smoke action. But Kareem Hunt, he had the whole situation. He was lying. Yeah, skeptical fan. I mean, Kareem Hunt was lying. He should have just told the truth. But, you know, appreciate the skeptical fan, man. Really appreciate the donation to Help Grow the Nation. I can't believe Hill didn't get suspended. Now, look, all we can do as Cowboys loyal fans, all we can do is just sit back, relax, understand that the NFL is the NFL. They do things to do things, and it is what it is at this point. Look, I'm not here to say that Tyreek Hill needs to be suspended or should be suspended, but it shows you proof that if you go by the ladder of the law, and if you don't put your hands into, and you don't put your own personal feelings into things, then it'll be a better league. Look, if the courts didn't suspend or didn't put the man in jail or prison or what have you, then the NFL have no reason to put the person in jail or prison. And to me, I can't judge nobody. I don't have a heaven nor a hell to put you all in, so I'm not going to judge you guys or what you guys are thinking about. But what I can say is that when you start playing politics in the NFL, and now everything goes to the forefront, and then some of the key people that you think that can help a certain team out, and you haven't done it for them, it starts to show that you lean towards favoritism or you lean towards hatred. That's just the reality of it. Look, like I said, you got to set the tone, and you can't suspend a guy for running a yellow light and you let another guy who ran the stop sign or ran the red light. It don't make sense. You'd be like, man, hold on, NFL. This guy actually ran through the stop sign and ran the stop light. And this guy just drove through the yield light. And you suspend him? You suspend him for conduct unbecoming? It don't make sense, man. It don't make sense. Look, St. Patrick Parade, Ezekiel Elliott pulled down the lady tatas, shirt tatas, and they start making speculation saying that, okay, maybe the lady didn't want that. You saw how she reacted on her face. She didn't want that. She didn't want her tatas to be shown to the world, per se. It's a bad image to the NFL. But then you can take that same situation and go all the way to what Gronkowski, he's all on a boat, flipping women upside down, doing keg stands, pulling other women's other body parts down live on the stage. And not a word been said about it. Oh, he just Gronk. Gronkowski doing Gronkowski types of things, right? I can only imagine if that was Jason Witten on that boat. I can only imagine if that was, let's say, a Dez Bryant on that boat doing those things. Or an Ezekiel Elliott. See, the NFL, they got their picks and chooses. Whether it's just, oh, they having a party, they having a good time. They just tossing a few back. That's what NFL players are supposed to do during their off season. But when it's the silver and blue, no. You got the precedent to set. You got a quote unquote America's team image. You're supposed to be like the America, you know. It's crazy to me. What's up, Mac? Man, appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in. You said, Law Nation, it's been a minute, man, since you was able to catch me. I'm glad you was able to catch me, man. Really do, man. Really appreciate you. Storm Area 51 plus Roger Goodell. If you storm Roger Goodell, office, you would see a shrine of probably the Giants, players in the background, New England Patriots, him kissing Bill Belichick saying he's sorry and stuff like that. Yeah. But you storm Area 51, you might find some people up in there, man. You say, hey, man, Tupac, what you doing over here? Michael? Man, they found a way to reincarnate you? Yes, indeed, man. That's crazy. Big Ben just skated along all through the allegations, yeah. Oh, Big Ben Roethlisberger, man. Y'all just Google that. And then on top of that, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's flat out crazy. Think about this. Chris Collinsworth, I think that's his name. Google his situation. Heard he like underage kids out there. You don't see the NFL saying, you know what? Yeah, this don't seem PC for us. Let's pull Chris Collinsworth. And a lot of people say, hey, he is annoying already, But you start digging up his past. Let's be real about it. That people, I always hear this right here. People do what they want to do. When you are a billionaire, when you are a $1 billion organization. I think his name is Chris Collinsworth, right? And he looks like To Catch a Predator, man. Just look it up. I'm not lying. I'm not trying to throw salt on the man, but look it up. You will find the trails of breadcrumb that leads to something that you don't supposed to be talking about, right? Big Ben got suspended. Yeah, I think Big Ben got suspended for what, 2 games, 3 games? It was 2 to 3 games. It is what it is. And the difference is, and a lot of people will say, yeah, he got suspended and these sorts of things. But it's never mentioned again. You don't hear people leading out with the conversation. This is Monday Night Football, and we're going to have to start talking about, hey, Big Ben had his transgressions, and Big Ben was accused for this and that. You don't hear them leading off with that. But you will hear all the times. Ben was suspended for 4 games. Yeah. You'll hear all the times. It can be, I guarantee you, week 1, if Ezekiel Elliott stays, out of the news, they're going to talk about the domestic violence. They're going to talk about the off-the-field issues. Big Ben, they don't talk about that. They keep it. They sweep it under the rug. It never happened. It's like Houdini. It's a magical trick. But throughout his whole entire career, they probably mentioned it probably once or twice before opening of a game. But every open of every game, it seemed like talking points. Ezekiel Elliott, can he stay on the field with his off-the-field antics? Oh, and he was accused for this and that. You would think that Ezekiel Elliott beat that woman down so bad. And if you see how big Ezekiel Elliott's head is and his arms and his fists and his hands, if he was to pluck that girl, she would have had bruises to remain on her like tattoos. But he played for the Cowboys. Randy is able to play. Who would you rather have, him or Quinn? Oh, Mac, nice football question right there. Randy Gregory or Robert Quinn? This was what I would do. And going back to football talk, I like football talk. This is what I would do. On pass down situations, I will have Randy Gregory out there on the field. On running down situation, I'll put Robert Quinn. So what I would do in a perfect world, believe it or not, Randy Gregory will be your third down defensive edge rusher. On third downs, especially if it's third and long, you see number 94 out there cutting around, getting out to the edges. Because the reason being is Randy Gregory is cool. I like his skill set, his length, his long rangy arms. He's been prosecuted to the highest levels of the NFL. And for something that he's already been diagnosed medically by the doctors as bipolar, and he used weed or marijuana to self-medicate. And the NFL proceed to know that is something illegal. And to be honest with you all, there's news and noise out there that Randy Gregory have yet to fail a suspension for the last 2 years. It's just the fact that he didn't put in compliance with his reinstatement. Remember that 50-page document that shows that he got to let somebody know when he pee. He got to call somebody from the NFL to know when he's going out with his boys. You know that 50-page document, I don't have time to read over everything, but it had saying that, hey, in order for you to play for the NFL, you sign this 50-page document that you will be on time for your testings and these sorts of things. And this is why Randy Gregory is suspended, because he violated one of those rulings. And him being honest, he said, yeah, hey, I relapsed. I smoked a few as well. But he have yet to fail a test from what the knowledge that I got. But in a perfect world with Randy Gregory, I would say I would play him on third downs and Robert Quinn on first and second downs, if it's possible running downs. And Robert Quinn is better against the run, in my opinion. In my opinion, he's better against the run. Smoke Randy. Whoa, this is Nate B. What's up, man? Appreciate you. Messiah, what's up, man? Weed is medicine. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, I mean, self-medication for the nation. Do you see Quinn gone after defensive tackle on passing downs? I think that the defensive end versus guard is a big mismatch. Defensive end. Yeah, the roster lineup for week 1, I'm predicting that it's going to be right defensive edge rusher would be Robert Quinn. Inside guy will be, believe it or not, it will still be probably Tyron Crawford. Believe it or not, it's going to be Tyron Crawford. Then the guy next to him is Malik Collins. And then it will be your guy D-Law, if healthy. Yeah, if healthy. And what they will do, they'll rotate Tristan in, and they'll rotate the Hyder. They'll rotate Covington, and they'll rotate your guy Antoine Barbecue Woods into the inside. Now, Crawford, if, and I'm saying with a big if the coaching staff say, okay, with Tyron Crawford, we want you to be a true defensive tackle. We want you to play the 3-tech all year. We're not going to flex you to the outside because he's a tweener. Then there's a certain weight body ratio that he's going to have to improve on. And my thing is he's so versatile in a sense that's been his Achilles heel. Because when the Cowboys needed an edge rusher, they said, hey, Crawford, what's up? When the Cowboys needed a guy to put it inside, they said, hey, Crawford, what's up? And if you look at the sizes of those guys, there are two different types of body size. But by him being a tweener and by him being just physically gifted with his strength, they just rotated him, you know. And it hurts him in a sense. And he had his best year last year. I know a lot of people discounted that, but he had 5.5 sacks, which is his best year. And that's coming rushing from the inside and out. Playing musical chairs. Joseph Ventura Hill just released a statement. Okay, let me see if I can find that statement. But, you know, I know how this thing goes, man. And shout out to Tyreek Hill. Like I said, I want Tyreek Hill to play. I want the best of the best to play. Like, don't you know how much better this league would have been if Matavius Bryant was able to play and not get suspended? Or if Josh, what's his last name, Brown, played for the Cleveland Browns, came out of Baylor. What was his name? Put that down in the comment box, man. Don't you guys know that this league would have been a whole lot better if they wouldn't suspending guys over those things, over those nonviolent crimes? Josh Brown, don't you know the NFL? This guy was on an all-time. I think he was going to beat one of Randy Mouse's records. He was going to beat one of Jerry Rice's record for consecutive 100-yard catches or something like that, or 100-yard games or something like that along those lines. And that was before they even had a quarterback. Don't you know that, believe it or not, in this crazy world, that your boy, what's the guy? Johnny Manziel? Johnny Manziel could have still been in the league if they wouldn't suspend Josh Brown left and right, you know, because he would have had the consistency and the continuity and the rapport with Josh Brown. But they kept saying, okay, he's suspended, he's not suspended. Okay, he's Josh Gordon. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Brown. Josh Gordon, appreciate you, man, Mike. Appreciate you, Sterling Payton. Appreciate you, Reverse Cowboy, and appreciate you, Philly Cowboy. Josh Gordon. The league would have been a whole lot better if Josh Gordon would have been able to play, especially if they didn't put their finger and toes all into this nonviolence situation with the marijuana and stuff. Josh Brown was a domestic violence. Yeah, that was the kicker. Yeah, so yeah, got my guys mixed up, but you guys know what I'm talking about, right? But let me see if I can find that statement with Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill. What you said is on the Bleacher Report? Yeah, let me see. All right, let's see. Tyreek Hill statement. Okay. All right. The last few months has been very difficult for me, especially as a father. The false allegations originally reported in March were highly publicized and involved in the care of my son. I am grateful for so many and grateful for so many people who support me during a challenging time. I fully respect and accept the NFL decisions. To the fans, friends, and family that have made it in Kansas City, I love you all and I thank you all to continue to support me. The NFLPA, this is what his statement is saying, and Mr. Ned, thank you for your dedication and understanding and guidance throughout the process. To the NFL Commissioner, Roger Goodell, and everyone else who assisted me in this investigation for the nation, thank you all for your time in conducting a thorough investigation. I will not let you all down. This is what his statement is. Hey, that's a nice little statement, man. That is a wonderful statement by Tyreek Hill. I wish I could shoot it on the screen so you guys can see it. And basically what he was saying is that through the last few months that he's been going through the trials and tribulations of life, the false allegations and the false narratives that the media has been pushing out there for the breakage of his son's arm. And due to the investigations, he thanks the NFL and Roger Goodell. My thing is, okay, it wasn't as long as the investigation with Ezekiel Elliott. And like I said, shout out to him. I'm still mad about 2017. You guys can clearly see that. My thing is, there's a broken arm. So either the lady, look, all of the women's organization and all of the social media people, somebody need to get arrested. Somebody need to be going after the lady then. That lady need to be incarcerated. Somebody needs to be held accountable for that boy having his arm broken. That's the reality of it. Because I come to tell you guys, if my daughter come up with a broken arm, and I know for sure that I didn't break that arm, then somebody's finna pay. You guys gonna see the world lit on fire until I find out who broke my daughter's arm. That's the reality of it. I won't be all PC with it. No. It won't happen. Not on my watch. I'm telling you guys, that's the real deal, Holyfield. I'm telling you guys, if my daughter come back with a broken arm, and if I don't find the person that did it, and I know my daughter don't know how to say it and don't know how to talk about it, then somebody's gonna pay. That's just the reality. I'm finding tapes. I'm putting numbers on all you guys. It was said I'm gonna turn it to Denzel Washington, but I'm not gonna get shot at you know what. Yes, Randy Gregory better get reinstated. This is from Kerry Teagle. Yes. Meticulous Cowboy says, poor kid. Yes. Broken arm and verbal assault records towards the mother and the son. Okay. Yeah, appreciate you, Films. So that lady should be in the bottom of the jail. The lady should be in the bottom of the jail for false allegations, false accusing, falsifying records, lying to the police. She should be in jail then. I would not rest. If I was Tyreek Hill, I wouldn't rest. I wouldn't rest until all of that is, until my name is cleared, until I see somebody being reprehended. That's just the reality of it. Got to protect his daughter. Yes, indeed. I would turn into Taken. I tell you guys, I would turn into Taken, really. I don't have a lot of money, but I have a certain set of skills. And when I find you, I will kill you. Oh, yes, indeed. Jay, what's up, man? Look, my guy Jay, you know, he have a different philosophy and a different opinion and different views for me, but he always keep it real with me, man. That's why I like Jay, man. He's in the chat box, man. I really appreciate you. Roy, Louisiana Roy, what's good, man? Anyone going to Area 51? Martin, I'm on my way, man. I'm on my way. Look, you go there first, Martin. Everybody want to storm Area 51. Y'all storm my student loans right quick. Y'all take them down. Y'all take down Sally Mae for you, bruh. Take down Sally Mae for me, man. Y'all storm Sally Mae. That's where everybody needs to storm. Storm Sally Mae. She's a multi-billionaire. Hope this kid grows up and tell the truth. Yeah, Manuel. Yeah, a lot of times with I guess domestic violence gets on the kid, assaults and victims that's been molested and things like that. A lot of times, you know, I watch too much Law and Order. I do, man. I watch too much Law and Order. A lot of times the victims, you know, they don't speak out until they 20, 21 years old. And a lot of times for those who are like older than the victim and who does these things to the victims out there, they tell them, hey, if you tell somebody, I'm going to hurt your parents, or I'm going to hurt your mom, or I'm going to hurt somebody else that's in your family. And they get feared of that, you know, because they naturally love their parents, or they love, you know, their cousins, or they love their uncles and stuff like that. And those are the people that prey on the weakness, you know, the weaker individuals. So I watch too much Law and Order, man, and I read too many case files and too many case studies of showing that these are the things that happen. So I always tell my youngest, my daughter, I tell her, look, always talk to daddy, always talk to daddy. Let me know if something happened to you, regardless, I said, did somebody ever touch you here? Or if somebody ever touch you here, or somebody ever try to hit you, I always, I try to keep that open dialogue. Now, are we perfect? Can we make things not happen? I don't know. We're not perfect, but we try to be as parents, as an adults, as people watching and looking over loved ones. We try real hard to be those parents to give an extra ear, and that's all we can do. Yeah. Yes, Evans. Yes, somebody stormed those student loans. Yes, man. Serious question, Law. Do you know what size T-shirt Dax wear? Because I'm going to get him a T-shirt made and honoring of members of his movement and I'm part of. You're a part of his movement. Okay, Manuel. I don't know Dak Prescott's size of shirt. He's a big old dude, man. I would probably lean on he probably like to wear them tight. That's what the young kids like to do. I would, especially if you got the guns and everything. Yeah, I would say that he's probably an extra large or a 2X. I could be wrong, though. But open communication, meticulous Cowboys. Yes. So Zeke out of Cowboys. Milky Phillips, man. Yeah, I'm going to check your page out, man. Shout out to you, man. Phillips, man, what's good, man? Let me see if I can read a few more of you guys' comments here. Really appreciate you all for tuning in to this thing. He's good. Crow says, I like that. He said, when you get rid of players who are just there for a paycheck, you get chips in playoffs appearance. Yeah, I think he wears a large Boomer Sooner. Yeah, okay. Medium. On the safe side, get Dak Prescott an extra large, man. You get that man a large, man, that shirt might just squeeze him up, man. And back to Crow's comment, he was saying if you get players who want to play not just for the paycheck, and you find yourself in the Super Bowl, you find yourself in playoff appearances. I agree, man. You get people who's out there who just love the game. They tend to go beyond and be better out there on the field. But the reality of it is what primetime Deion Sanders was saying earlier on his Instagram about Dak Prescott. He should not want to take a discount or what have you. When we look at that, when we talk about that, we would say to ourselves, yes, because of the Ryan Shazier. You guys remember that? I hope I'm saying this guy's name right. Ryan Shazier, guy that played for the Steelers. I think he wore number 50. I mean, he about my size now, but he's still strong now. And I see him walking around a little bit better. And this football life, man, is not guaranteed to us all. So these guys are trying to make some money, but not being foolishness out there. Because Dak Prescott right now is making $680,000 a year. That's only $80,000 more than Rico gathers, I believe. And, of course, he's getting some endorsements and some of the money that's on the side or what have you. But the reality of it, the level of games he's able to play in and the level of his valuable, I guess his value, I guess, how can I put this? I can say this right here. His level of being able to play out there on the field, right? Now, I don't want to say his level of valuable because it's not a level of valuableness out there. But his level of ability to stay out there on the field speaks volumes, guys. And that's why you should go ahead and pay the man. JJ Triller said he's an extra medium. Dak's contract talk is taking too long. This is from Ricardo. Yeah, man, It's crazy when you start talking about contract negotiation. You got two sides, actually three sides. You got the NFL owners, which is Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, when you try to negotiate a deal, you want to pay the lowest of the lowest amount, right? And then you have Dak Prescott. His concerns are, hey, I want to be respectable out there. Then you have the agent fuddling around. The agent always going to say, hey, I'm getting 10% of this money, so I need to figure out how to find you the best house. I'm going to find you the best, the car to drive in. I'm going to find you the best school district to live in. I'm going to try to be your all-in-out unbiased agent. I'm going to bring up the stats. I'm going to bring up the facts. I'm going to bring up these opportunities. And also, I got to pad in my money, right? Got to pad in my pockets. So I can't let you get out there and sign a $25 million deal because that won't be right for me as an agent. Because other players are going to look at that and say, hey, man, you represented Dak Prescott and you only got the man $25 million. Why should I sign with you? You see, and the market value, the market always set the tone in the race. Normally in NFL contracts, and I'm gonna say this before I go. I got a phone. Got to make a few phone calls. I'm still at work over here. The market value, the market always set the tone and the pace. Normally the market never goes backwards. And in certain situations, you can look at it whereas when a player is signed to a deal, it increases or it steps up the market or it resets the market. I think that, what's this guy? Russell Wilson, he reset the market by signing his particular deal with $35 million. And the market was previously set by the first tier quarterback at 33 from Aaron Rodgers. And then what happened is that you had your other guys to come in and sign contracts. Like I have to say this, the Kirk Cousins of the world and the other guys. I gotta go. I gotta go, Cowboy Nation. I got phone calls coming in. But I will say this right now. There's going to be 2 extra games, which going to bring in more revenue, more money to the league. So we're looking at $33, $34, $35 million. Is a lot of money? No, that's not a lot of money because when David Carr, whatever the Carr brother was, when he signed his $25 million contract, a lot of people were like, wow, the brother got some money. But that's so far and beyond us now. You see, that's chump change now. And that was only 2 to 3 years ago. Now you can only imagine 2 to 3 years from now, 33, 35 will be a cheap rate. That's the reality of it. Shout out to Tyreek Hill. I can't wait to see him out there. The guy is electric. He's going to kill it for the Chiefs. Shout out to Pat Mahomes. They got another guy. And they got another guy, a speedster. I think he's a wide receiver. I forgot what college. His name is Malcolm or something like that. Malcolm. The boy is fast. So Travis Frederick, Tyreek Hill, the Malcolm kid, or Malcolm, however you say the man's name. Look here, Kansas City Chiefs. Look out. They're going to do some things in their division. They're going to light it up, man. Boy, I don't see, like, on the defensive side, they flipping the defense around. Malcolm Hardman, yeah. Malco Hardman. Daniel Albert, appreciate you. That kid going to be nice. And then you got Travis Kelce. I'm thinking about Travis Frederick. Well, that's for us. Travis Kelce. It's going to be nice for him. They're switching over to defense, so we will see, Cowboys. That's been my time. I really appreciate you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Peace. Travis Kelce. Yeah, Ricardo. Yeah, I got a tongue twisted. Yeah, I got tongue twisted. I'm thinking of Travis Frederick, but Travis Kelce. Yeah. Andy Reid is a good coach only before he get to the playoffs. Appreciate you guys, man. Peace.